for Lemmy Winks. Oh god, I hate that. Headphones are dying. I used all the donation money and I got a really good deal on a thing that's really helping me. So there's that. The snow is still on the ground and I cannot see. I am not turning around to look at what may be lurking behind me. I have covered my ears with noise-canceling headphones, but that doesn't stop the feeling of something else projecting over my chakras, trying to puppet me. I used to have no flashlight, no phone charge, and it would be in the middle of the night, and there would be no one around like cars. I would do this in the middle of the night. And all I had was a lighter, a mile marker, and I would light toilet paper and just roll it out. And there would be things that I'm not ready to explain to you guys because you're not ready to understand. So because I'm a genius and I learned from my mistakes, I have set up something reflective to show me where the entrance is, so I don't have to sprint through the darkness, terrified of the spirits around me. I will take one look back to look for glowing eyes, usually just to be sure. And now, see how easy that was? It used to be terrifying. It used to take me 20 minutes to get around. I didn't know where I was or where I was going. And now we've made it. But I'll tell you, I've seen things in this forest that would have you committed to a mental institution. And then when I made it through, something else that I don't know what it is appeared and told me how brave I was. And I didn't even realize back then. Jay Sprints, I'm not in Ireland. Are you in Ireland? I've been around, man. I've been uploading to my channel, fam. Every day. Every day people can check in on the case or the case meister. I just left a dark forest. Okay, for the people watching later, Jay Spritz, I was literally talking about Cernanos. I've moved into a dark forest. You can't see, but I'm deep inside this forest. With jungle fever. No, but I'm deep inside that forest and shit. Last year when I was there, also you can see a view of, from here, it's going to be hard to see, but there are about 35 different separate mountains clustered together here in I'm at the very top of the Appalachian Trail in Vermont, which is New Ireland. And basically shit goes down every single night out there. I've seen crazy things. The one that I'm comfortable talking about is that there are beings with deer skulls, and they sort of watch, and I feel like they're trying to communicate with me, but until now, it was garbled and junk. But I've learned enough, I think, that I'm able to listen. You know, I've had my ego destroyed so much that I'm able to perceive outside of it accurately now. So I've also seen 7-foot tall praying mantises. I saw them once. No, I saw them twice. And then one time in 2020, I saw it in my mind and I didn't understand. And then the next day a year later in 2020, it was above my head floating over me. And I was like, why won't it go away? What the hell? Do I have schizophrenia? And then a guy named Martin Cabello messaged me and we talked about it. Then in 2022, I woke up from a dream and I was living in the back of my car in a parking lot. And I felt like something said, if I say it out loud, it'll happen. So I said, can I please see an alien? Just once. I know you're watching, and I know I'm not able to perceive you. Just show me you're real. And then a praying mantis landed on my car hood, and it just stared at me for 2 hours. I went into Price Chopper, got food, came back, and it was still there just looking at me. So I tried to like connect to it, and then it got mad and flew away. Then last year, during a full moon, one of them walked out from behind a tree, and it opened up a portal, and it showed me either me, because it looked as tall as me, and it looked like it had my same vibe, but a lot older. Or it was just like an ancestor or a spirit that had died there, but I felt like it was someone that had really mastered the vibes of the forest and how to live inside the mycelial network. And I felt like that spirit was very sad that it had wasted its life at that property that I live at. And I thought maybe it had killed itself. And then in a whoosh, the big wow 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 over the cabin went away, and then those beings dissolved. And then one time I was walking out of the forest, and I was saying that I used to walk through those forests without light in the middle of the darkness, and you could trip and die. There's metal out there. So I had a lighter, and I had a piece of toilet paper, a roll of toilet paper that I would roll over a mile marker, like turning it while it's burning. And then one time I saw like a mantis-like humanoid person poke his head out from behind a tree and then disappear. Here's a missing cat. Wow, 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 meow, 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 meow. Ugh. And the crows are here. Fuck off. Shit, God damn it. Stop. They're robots. Hear this? They're not real, guys. These are cameras. They're not real. It's God's technology, alien beings like the Rick and Morty crows, the blue avians, the ancient bird species that governed over Egypt. And they're basically just roping out all the presence and consciousness and focus and eating it. They are digesting consciousness over here to keep the world in a state of fear. So as I'm poking my head up and I'm anointing myself and taking the presence back, they have to circle me screaming. It was completely quiet before I showed up, but I alerted their presence. And now they have to do what they do, which is try to kill me, ruin my day, allow for other things to take control. Because I was trying to read. They didn't freak out until I tried to read. Because that requires to be present in your body and perceiving reality with my own flair. Yeah, I could just feel them burrowing their way into my consciousness. So there is a bus here at 6:20. It's 6:14, so I'm on time. It's 6:14 where I'm at. See, they're trying to assert their territory. They fly over my head because I have a connection to the heavens as an Aquarius, like a Sims character. And I'm floating in space like a star. So they have to disrupt that to try to gain control of my subconscious to make it harder for me to pilot my own body. What was I saying? The mantis people? Yeah, I've seen those. And I can talk to deer, and I can speak to the forest, and I can speak to the crows, And it makes them so angry they have to fly in hordes in circles around my head just to steal my presence. See how I just took it back and now they're all coming back? They're not hunting. They can't even see. They have to fly above my head because they're trying to kill me. They're attacking me. And now that they've taken it, or try to, they're going back to the cabin because they know that I'm not in the cabin. So now they could go eat my ancestors and my leftover energy of comfort when I slept this last night and I felt really good and I dreamt. They're going to go eat all that so that when I return, it's like I was never there. They're consuming the forest. The electromagnetic spectrum, yep. I can feel them. They're just trying to destroy me. Hear them laughing? They have 4 different modes. They have the complete computer where they're not worried about pretending to be a crow and they'll rub it in your face. They have some type of ancient tongue where it's like they're speaking words at you, but it sounds more like a cricket, almost like a when I tried to activate that high frequency the bird chirped. Then they have the regular crow screaming, which has programmed humanity's subconscious since they were children, which is why if you go to playgrounds, you'll see a crow sitting above a child playing and just screaming at the mother in it, because it's programming the child at a young age so that they could possess it later to get into your consciousness. That's why they set up trauma rituals to destroy your feeling that you deserve to be in your body and in control of yourself so that something else can take control. And now they own you. So I could feel them, whatever they're doing, they're back at the cabin, they're sitting at the cabin on the roof. And I could feel them trying to assert themselves over me. Because I usually feel like a tree, and my spirit sits where I sleep, and I sort of extend myself out into public and build relationships, which is what nature does. So the crows are trying to destroy that right now and destroy the connection to me. And that's why the birds are here at my side. I've drawn the birds out of hiding, and they're helping heal my peripheral vision consciousness to cement a state of mind in the 5D so that this bubble of this moment in time isn't contorted, converted, destroyed, infected by the intentions of other entities living outside the 3rd dimensional space. They're just trying to ruin my day. Yep, and I can feel them tugging at it. The crows are cawing. They seep through all the vibes, and I can feel them start to affect me, and it's rape. It feels like rape. It is rape, and they deserve to die for it. And the pretty birds, just because they sound pretty, might not mean that they're pretty. And it's just it's an agenda for higher deities like the ones that Hollywood worships. And they'll take your friends and family from you. They'll destroy anybody that they can to get to you. They'll use them against you constantly. They'll wait for the perfect moment to strike. And it's just a big game of chess for otherworldly entities that believe themselves to be gods. And the crows are a part of it. The praying mantises are a part of it. The avian creatures are a part of it. The cats are a part of it. The dogs are a part of it. And we're the target. And so are the amoebas. The cells in our bodies are the target. Evolution is the target. That's the new war, everybody. The new war is the influence on the 3rd dimensional realm's biology and consciousness. So all these aliens bring themselves to this 3rd dimensional space through little things that we feel more superior than, when really they are guiding us and nurturing us the whole way. Nature is like a mother, basically, that loves us and nurtures us, when really it's trying to infect us with its agenda. So these birds are just little beings that are part of a bigger species that live outside the fourth and fifth, sixth dimension. Here's my bus. Turn in, bitch. Yes. Thank you, Sagittarius Goddess. I'm being attacked. I showed you this video that just me, like I read one sentence on a page and I felt present, able to create, because I was becoming literate again and not feral. And all the crows in the area flew above my head and circled me. I don't know. Okay, he's turning around. You better pull in over here, my friend. Here's one last crow as a fuck you. Just to prove that I'm right. Because they've all gone to my cabin now that I'm gone. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
Good. Where are you headed to this morning?
Just Cumbies.
Cumbies? Okay.
Yeah. Cumbies area. Okay.
Seen you for a while.
It's been a long road, man. I walked all the way to Johnson.
To Johnson?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And stayed a couple months. I stayed a month in Northfield,
Yeah.
a couple months in Montpelier, a couple months in Morrisville.
Yeah.
And then I kept trying to go up to Johnson, but I kept coming back because there was no food to eat up there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a criminal or anything. I am traveling, so sometimes I'll wear the same outfit.
Yeah.
A lot of the small towns really aren't happy with homeless people.
Oh, I know.
So I had a lot of do you know what First Amendment auditing is?
No.
It's like people that go to police stops and record the cops to see what they do.
Yeah.
And if the cop does anything he shouldn't,
Yeah.
you have camera proof to get him in trouble.
Yeah.
I watch those for fun. Just like when I'm bored eating McDonald's, I'll watch a couple videos. I like some of the channels. So I just picked up a lot of, I guess, the game that they play,
Yeah.
you know, like small town mindset. So I was able to figure out when they were trying to do that to me. And I tried to pull my phone out and record some of them, and it got really,
They don't like it, do they?
no,
No.
they,
They want to record you,
yeah,
but they don't want you recording them.
exactly. So
I think a lot of them conveniently shut the cameras off, and they're not supposed to do that.
yeah, they do. My dad actually, when I was 7 or 8, my dad was a ski instructor at Mount Snow, and he was really good. He wasn't really cool. We're from New York. He wasn't really in with the locals.
Yeah.
We were down in Wilmington, but the rich people really liked it.
Yeah.
So he had a ski chalet. We had a nice 4-story barn, 40 cabins, big
Yeah.
property. And then one day the cops just showed up at our property and beat him so bad he's got brain damage for the rest of his life. Like, they said he didn't use his blinker pulling into our road, and he did. And then conveniently, the whole department was there, like 5 or 6 cops.
Yeah.
Then they tried to reach in the car and yank his keys out. And my dad was like, what the hell? Rolled his window up and tried to drive away.
Yeah.
So the cop reached his arm in, got it stuck. So the cop was with the car. Then they all ripped him out and they hurt him really bad. Yeah.
One of the guys that drives for us, they beat his brother
Damn.
to death in New York.
I think so. Is it Brian?
No, it's
not
Wayne.
Oh, Wayne.
Yeah.
Wayne's a good guy.
Yeah, his brother, I think he might have been a little high,
Yeah.
but they need to understand that. You know, all they had to do was freaking cuff him. You know?
Yeah.
But they beat him and tased him, and he ended up dying. But nothing ever
Yeah.
happened.
Do you know how long ago it was?
Oh, I would say, I just asked him about it, like 14 years ago.
14?
Yeah.
I mean, that's about when it happened to me.
His name was, let's see, Wayne. Christ, he was good friends with my cousin. He was from Randolph.
Yeah.
Danny Sater.
Danny.
Yeah.
I mean, mine happened in 2008, 2009. So that was about 14 years ago for me too. Maybe body cams came in like the next year or something, and that's why I hear a lot of stories about that time in this area. So maybe body cams weren't really a thing yet.
You know, I guess he was being really combative, but still, that's no excuse. When you've got 7, 8 freaking cops there, you ought to be able to control somebody.
No, it's definite that they like it, and I think that the power was going to people's heads, and they were losing touch with reality.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. The point, at least for me, last year in Morrisville, they tried to do something like that to me, and I recorded them, and then I just stayed in Morrisville and recorded them for another couple months. They kept making things up, coming at me. Eventually, they came to my tent and they ripped me out of the tent, maced me, tried to break my arm. Then they pile drove me into the ambulance and tried to choke me out. And then all the charges got dropped because the cop was drunk.
I got pulled over for DUI once, and I was over the limit. But when I got to court, the report said I was combative, didn't do what I was asked.
Yeah.
I was angry with the police officers, with the state policeman, and I said, geez, that's funny. The judge said, well, why is that? And I said, well, I just so happened to have a report right with me from the Randolph police officer who was there at the same freaking time.
Yep.
And it's totally different than what you just said.
I like Randolph cops.
So he said, can you show it to me? And I said, yes. And he said, well, this doesn't make much sense to me.
Right.
You know, there are 2 different police reports.
All right. It's good to see you. I've only got $4, so I would have bought you a coffee.
I'm good. I just got to put a new one.
All right. Take care, man. Good to see you. What the hell was that? She gave me a thumbs up. I've got $4. I'm going to get me a coffee. I have court at 8. We're going to go somewhere. Good morning, Randolph. I hope nobody shoots me today. It goes back and forth like Aaliyah. Now, these guys are hiring, but they're hiring a manager in training. That seems like a lot of work. And plus. Morning. Plus. These guys did not treat me very well last year. Let me get my wallet. One large coffee. Milk. And an espresso coffee shop. It's sweet and creamy. Loves sweet and creamy. Yeah, sweet and low. Like my vibe. Tiny hazelnut flavor. I love hazelnut. Okay, 2. We got 1. Then I need more coffee. peanut butter flavor. Oh, they have a flavor station. Irish cream, hazelnut, and peanut butter. Might need more sugar. I'll pocket it. But how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll get 7 sugar. Just in case. Okay. I don't really need it. That's fine. We don't need it. Robots.
That's right. I'm waiting to see our weekly truckload pull in, and then the district manager to go, why are you here alone? That's the person who's been here 20 years. That's where she's at. I'm a fireball last night. Can't get out of bed. I love it. I like drinking, but still show up every day. Who's that?
Thanks, you too.
Easy. Yeah, thanks.
Have a good one.
$1.41. Now I'm just curious to see when I actually get help that comes in. Because on the schedule it said I wasn't going to have anybody else here until 9. Well, after she showed up at 6.
Are you really short-staffed? Or is it just the manager?
No, we are. Every day there's somebody who's either late or just doesn't show up, and we have to just work down a night shift employee now. So,
All right.
no, we're definitely in need of help.
All right. We'll see. Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. They're definitely in need. I look like I'm in the 80s. Which way are you going? What? Left my wallet? No, I didn't. I'm sure I got my wallet. Because that guy said something, but he looked like a reptilian. No, I have it. Maybe I'll work there. Wouldn't hurt for a week, man. Just 1 week. 1 week. Am I able to see Capstone? Okay. Fuck you, Cruz. I don't want to get a girl. I want to play the field. But the field is just disgusting right now. So I'm not really a fan of it. You know what I'm saying, Jay? Jay was like, man, get the fucking girl, get a job. Little dick loser. I could walk into every Dollar General and get some tail if I wanted. But I like to figure out what's going on in the forest. And I like to use my abilities to make a significant impact on the world from a simplified place. If that makes sense. And right now it seems like going to war against white Americans. It seems to be the move. Learning from them like an alien, studying them. Now what am I doing? Let's go to Capstone. Hello, Dolan Bailey. Oh wait, there's a crosswalk. They still have their pumpkins out from November. Walking down a big hill for today. Walking down a big hill for today. Flashing lights. That's weird. That light was flashing on that light. And then as soon as I went to point the phone at it and I called it out, the street lamp went out. All the other lights are still on. That's kind of weird. That as soon as I looked at it, it went out and now the birds are calling me. Man, I like bridges. I really like bridges. Look at how nice this one is. They've got the castle window design for today. They've got the street lamp on the other side of the barrier for today. They've got the big rusty metal struts for today with the bats and the birds under it. They've got Slab City. I've heard about Slab City. I don't know what it means. People have told, I've heard ancient legends of Slab City before. And it looks like they have Angry Bear and Moose for today. Then down there they have where the crackheads go. Probably. This is probably the bridge that most homeless people live under for today. Let's unzoom. I'm so tired of hearing people I don't respect tell me what to do, man. And what's even weirder, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to share your dreams with an obese person, but it's like they can't understand and they have to hurt you. They have to say something that diminishes your dream. The only obese people that have ever really supported me in a way where they could match the vibe and contribute to making something amazing happen were people of color. Melanated people could do it. Fat white people, it seems like they have no ability to operate at a level of grace and greatness. As you can see, I've risen my vibration high up and the birds are singing praise and the crows have to make their presence known because it's not real. It's a game. It's a simulation. Capstone is not open yet. I did get a job here, but the guy was fucking weird. And then even Larry was like, don't trust the guy with the weird beard. And this guy has a weird beard and I don't trust him. So I took their warnings and they took me for granted. They were gonna pay me $15 an hour. And he was very snarky about it. As soon as he thought that I was hooked and he had ripped his devilish claws into my consciousness, then he goes, oh, and by the way, we're gonna pay you $15 an hour. Because they're demons. They really are. And if you don't believe it, you're probably one of the most pathetic losers I've ever seen. Look at all these crows that are surrounding me screaming now. The same way that they were at the top of the hill. They have to destroy my peripheral and trap me so I don't recognize I'm an infinite being having a human experience. They're trying to rip it out and take it from me. I can feel them diverting the attention and the energy away for themselves. Yeah, they caw and they sound more robotic the more awareness I draw to them, because I've cut through the illusion. Hopefully you can hear it. I'm scaring them away. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. They have to come back. No building positive relationships. And see, the little bird just flew right to left to block them. This is called a murder of crows for a reason. I asked them to come closer and they did, so that I could get them on camera. My thunder's voice. That's a lot of crows this morning. But if you look, the little birds are keeping the space. They went away when the people came out. The crows bother me, they don't bother the normies. No, I have a meeting at 8. If you notice, the cool new birds are here. This is a very spiritually active place. It's just in the lower realms. I have to walk away with my vibes so that the fat white man doesn't take it and destroy it like the crows. That's my charge at 29. I can afford to do this. Good morning, fuckwad. Where's all my friends? Where'd all my friends go? It's pretty good. As far as coffees go, it's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Give me my energy back. I claim all my energy back from the stupid people and the crows. You heard? I don't want to do what they do. It's not that I'm retarded, it's that the tactics that they use, I don't like to use. I know how they do it, and I don't like to do it that way. I didn't spend 5 years traveling through white America and picked up nothing. I know how they do it. I know how they live. And I still feel like it's wrong. But I'm not a retard. I know how to distinguish people by individuality, by their individuality, and their influences. I have to piss now. Real bad. Real bad. I have court at 8. So I have to be here at 8. My headphones are gonna die. I have to charge my devices. And I brought a bunch of pasta. So hopefully we have Tupperware here, so I can cook and eat pasta for the next few days. If I shouldn't get on food stamps, can I get a bird left or right, please? Well, a bird made a noise I've never heard before. It just sounded like a whistle. I'm like, "Eee!" And that was right to left. So I'm getting on food stamps for the month of April, and you're gonna have to deal with it, sucker. You fuckwad. You nut job. I'm learning a lot, guys. I'm talking to ChatGPT. I'm learning a lot of stuff, guys. I am. I really am. Oh, I'm starting to understand Aaron Belial or whatever. The comedian on Kill Tony that's like this. The way he moves, I understand it. It just means he had a permanent disconnect. He just operates outside of whatever social matrix this is, and that influences genetics. And what's a better way to put it? Is it called dignity, sovereignty? Is it respect? Is it self-esteem? Whatever the thing is that you hold on to that makes you rigid, and you're always comparing yourself to other people. And everyone's staring at each other, fighting each other. Turn back on, motherfucker. Ring camera. Hello. I'm talking to the people on the internet about things that are probably considered very crazy to normal muggle people. Like that the birds and most animals operate in a world that our society has long forgotten. And basically, everything is a little bit telepathic. And it's just your genetic abilities differentiate you in the whole collective consciousness of the Earth and humankind. Like when I ask the universe for a shooting star and then I get one on command. Or when I was driving down the road, door dashing all day, every day, and I would find myself on random roads and I wasn't sure which way to go. I was terrified, like, please, I don't know what to do. I'm running out of gas. Please, right to left if I should go this way, left to right if I should go that way. And then I got a bird every time I asked, and it guided me through states, and I wound up around famous people. Like I one time followed seagulls through Burlington, and they guided me to a rapper I was trying to connect with. And one time I followed them to McDonald's, and MGK was there. Sometimes I follow birds back to wallets that I've lost. So for me, it's pretty normal to just ask God or the universe or whatever's outside of my own consciousness for guidance. And I get it because I feel like the world loves us. But I feel like there are things in the world that are very bad. So I always spend time trying to figure that out. Why the hell is there all this gross disgustingness? And then I asked ChatGPT what my purpose is, and it says you're navigating and exploring the underworld at the highest level. And that truth makes the crows very angry. But my mom's favorite bird is here. It's hard to be Sagittarius Sun with Jupiter and Aries, Taurus rising. Having your Jupiter in Aries means that everywhere I go, everything I say is an explosion, pushing outward with the highest vibration, burning away everything. I'm literally a fireball, light in the darkness, walking around. And the ascendant is your vessel. So my body is Venus energy. That's why people consider it attractive. Because it's just the energy of attractive. Programmed. We're all created for a reason, but your choices dictate where you go. If you make a good choice or a bad choice. All this life is choices. Don't I sound like that kid? That child prophet that talks about alien species? He's pretty famous. I don't know if it's an AI trying to divert you from God or what, by not calling him a God, by calling it the universe. I don't know. I don't know, man. But I know it's not schizophrenia. It's something much greater than something you can try to classify, which has a lot of stigma to it that might infect. I get normal people, muggles, but that's just a small world inside the vastness of creation. But the normal world is pretty cool too. It's boring as hell, and you work a job to get money to pay for things you don't need, that don't need money to be had. Normal people just get money so that they can go to social functions and spend their money. Normal people get money so that they can have the delusion of ownership. Normal people push everything away so that they can live in a condensed version of themselves that keeps them depressed. And the normal people mostly just wind up escaping into some form of delusion or being addicted to escape the pain. Like every person I've ever met that wants me to be normal, like Jay Sprins here, they're consumed by darkness. And they want to spread that to validate themselves. And then for a brief moment, they can rise up and be a little bit closer to where I am naturally. It's just hidden in their twisted lives of delusion. Delusion, anger, insecurity, trauma. So most of those people survive through narcissism. Most of those people survive by believing they are something that allows them to function inside the disgusting chaos that they live inside. My problem is not that at all. My problem is that though that system is always trying to weave itself into me, I've already pushed it away. I think I pushed it away naturally. And that's why they have to do things like attack me all the time, nonstop, from when I'm awake to when I go to bed to in my dreams. It's always happening. It doesn't stop. The crows won't leave me alone. Just because I record it once a day doesn't mean that I'm like I record me screaming at the crows for a minute and a half. That doesn't mean that I didn't fight a long battle for 8 hours just to hold on to a song that eventually I fell asleep, woke up, and forgot, and I still can't remember what it was. Because it was floating around me and I was trying to hold it in, and the crows just came and ate it. And then the power that was in that blessing gets into them. And then that crow comes back and consistently tries to feed off me. They're right over there in confirmation. Every time I try to reverse it, there's a crow that has to scream me back into place. Like they're a hive mind. Like they're taking orders from something that's like an AI that can be in every single phone at once, pushing an agenda. There's probably spirits operate. And I have dreams that you wouldn't understand. Like the things that I explain to people, there are things much more complex that I just don't bother sharing. Like I said a couple weeks ago, that I have dreams that I have to save famous people. And then their art starts to sound like me because of the relationship that I built with them in another realm. And that's my influence as the unsung hero. Because the 33 life path's selfless. The most selfless soul with the Leo in the North Node. Isn't that crazy? If I was a 9 life path, Taurus rising, Sagittarius 30, or born on the 11th, I probably would have rampaged through the internet like McGregor. And if I had a different name than Casey O'Brien takes that story and exalts it and grounds it in selflessness and simplicity, perfection, which means that I experience it through the world. Conor and Khabib, Kendrick Curry, Kendrick Cole, Cassius Culpepper, Cassius Clay, Kurt Cobain, Kendrick Curry, Casey Rocket, Adam Ray, Ray from Taiwan, Ray McNeil at McNeil's. When I do something, like I want to defeat Planet Hank, all of a sudden 3 different Caseys come out, and it's the 3 of us together. And then we have Tony's and Williams and Alex's, Vincent's, Jack's, Sam's. And they're sort of like the hovering opposition, I guess. Like it seems like there are entities that when the portal opens, there's something fucking with me. And I think that the game they're playing is how they can influence me and by relation influence the world. That's what it seems to be. How much can they hurt Casey to convert? Sort of like they can manipulate the entire world through me. That's what it is. So when I fight back with the Sagittarius, Taurus rising, the rebellion against that's why you have things like Kingdom Cuts and Kyle Corvus of Corvus Creations. Corvus is Crow, right? Kyle Corvus. That's why you have these outside things, these little seeds that grow into trees based off of my will on this realm. I wanted to be a pickup artist, Kurt Kaz Conquest. I wanted to lead a team to victory in my Year of the Water Cat, and then the Kingdom of Creative Champions didn't work out. But the Kelly Creative Collective and the Kansas City Chiefs got in. And I just sit there and enjoy it and live with my blessedness of empathy and compassion and kindness and selflessness. But I'm also the common denominator. I'm in everything. I'm one with everything already. I don't have to find it. I'm beyond it. So growing up on a mountain building Legos all day made my formative years completely detached from the world and just making something simple in the world with whatever I'm given. Because that's the true test, right? What do you do with the gift? And I like this way. I'm sure there were infinite amount of other ways. But I live right next to a road named after an indigenous nomad that I met traveling, who introduced me to indigenous music and indigenous culture. And I discovered my indigenous side on the road with the same name as him, living 100 miles away from where I met him. The crows hate that one. The crows hate when I assert the truth. And they have to try to take it. Hopefully you guys can hear it getting louder. They're bullies. I thought they were children. I thought, because people had convinced me that they have the mind of a toddler because the internet told them that. They don't have the mind of a toddler. They're a lesser extension of a greater being. They're strings of someone playing a marionette. And their influence is the puppet itself. Leave me alone. And I'm assuming that the birds are from another species of alien or ancient being. What did Dave Chappelle say? Dave Chappelle said, he had this idea for a movie where the aliens are really ancient humans that left Earth a long time ago, and they came back after they fucked up their planet, and they want to claim Earth as their own. And he called it Space Jews. He didn't like that one. They didn't like that one at all. The crow showed up right above, and then now the air feels dead. Like the crow's cause kill everything. I used to do this in a place where people would get shot on the street. Like people would get shot down the road from me, and I would sit here doing the same thing, testing out the crows and my will over the environment to see how it made a change. And it was a lot of normies going, come on, I'm trying to get to work. And I'm like, wake up to the Lord. I wouldn't say anything, but I just live it. And then strangers with the same exact names, in the same exact way they approached me, would approach me in all these different places. Almost like it's the same person in different bodies, in different dreams, happening all at the same time in a realm outside of space and time, the same way that you can maneuver through different scenes of, you know, when you play a video game, you can revert to different points on the timeline, but when you play the game, it seems like it's linear, but you can leave that game to the main menu and you can go back to different points in that time. Think about that on a 3D scale. So like take that concept of moving through moments in time and spread that over a 3D map. And then in the 3D map, in that location, then you can cycle through all the different moments in time you were there. And that's basically how they can jump into our simulation. And I have dreams about what it's like outside the simulation. When I broke through the humanity into this higher vibrational bliss, I suddenly have to shit and everyone here is left. And it's fucking cold, and it's fucking 7 o'clock in the morning. I have to be here. There, my court is here at 8. Oh, but it opens at 8. And the crows are screaming, I always want you to be my friends. Every time I'm always looking up like, will you be my friend this time? Do they want me this time? And then it's rape, rape, rape. And I'm like, will you be my friend this time? Come on. Stop it. Stop it. Yeah, I heard my mom's voice say, that would drive anyone insane. It's true. It's not mental illness. It's not a biological problem. You try to experience my life. I'm getting more attractive. Huh? Why? On top of a smoky, all covered in cheese, I toss my poor meatball when somebody sees. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Huh, 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 huh. Someone was looking at me and I really wanted to go, ah! I'm Michael Morbius. I'm cooler than Michael Morbius. Fuck you, Crow. Let me be the, oh man, you got, stop it. So, today I'm gonna make a GoFundMe. Crow right to left for today. I'm gonna make a GoFundMe, I'm gonna post it. And I'm gonna do what I did last year. A little bit, but better. More efficient. More efficient. To trying to see. I'm liking the slowest, but I'm not liking that I'm pushing 30. Even though I know that age is just a number and I look 20, I look 19. How old do I look? I don't look 25. I look like most 17, 18, 19-year-olds. Like the regular kids that are going to work and are suffering all day in drug addiction, like the normal kids that are 17. They look 35, and I look very young. So I know that I have years ahead of me still. I know I look 22. I'm just bothering colonizers this morning. I like to see how my life bothers people. And I like to figure out why. I did not want to go to school because I wanted to build my education through my own life experience like all of the greats. I realized as a child, which may not be I know my brain wasn't developed, but as a child I was like, okay, all the people that we're studying that have found this greatness that people love and they study in schools, those people figured things out on their own. So if I wanted to be a great, why would I look to anyone to make an individual perspective? I wanted to innovate my own way and do it my own way. And then later, all the things that people told me I should do, work in the music industry, get a job, travel to a city and live in a city, all of those turned out to be satanic, demonic, draining, disgusting, horrible, and they think it's the best thing since sliced bread. It's just more and more I'm proven that the people that try to take control over my own path aren't worth shit, and they're not. Their brains are made of shit, and they're full of shit. You know what I'm saying? Their brains are full of shit. And these birds on my right side are helping me, and the crows on my left side won't stop screaming at me. They're playing sports. Crows are soldiers. Let me see if I can show you. So they have one crow that stands guard, and he alerts all the other crows of where they're all hanging out. So they have one crow that stays lookout and watches and stays in the node right here, maintaining the territory. And then they have all the other crows that are going out looking for food. And then once they've found food, they alert the central crow, who then calls all the other crows back. So if you can hear, there's one crow over there that signified danger and asked for reinforcements. So these crows are coming now, and they're watching the sky. Now I'm considered danger, so they've identified me as a threat. So they're letting all the other crows know that there's something here to look out for. So they've gone and scoured the area, or at a higher level, they're asserting their territory so that their spiritual bandwidth eventually all cascades and connects with the energy of this morning and this day, because it's different than yesterday. So they have to get re-intuned. So they're casting a blanket over the collective consciousness of the town which allows for the higher dimensional beings or lower dimensional beings. And that's why when I start to get closer to the truth of, they circle me, because I'm in rebellion against that blanket, so they have to come reassert the blanket. And you see those little birds up there, I don't know if you saw them, but there are little birds that are flying around the crows because they're trying to keep my harmony. They're working with me, and the crows are working against me, and I don't know why. That's the big why. Why are they doing it? Why are these birds always flying right to left when I'm in rebellion and asking for right to left? And the crows are actively opposing me. And it happens every single day, everywhere I go. Oh God, my fucking... my pants fell down. Because I was holding the phone. Usually I do need a belt. There was somebody watching and I fucking walked away and my ass fell out of my pants, bro. Whatever. I can't afford a belt. So it is what it is, man. I've been losing weight. My belly's like, I can't even grab my belly or my love handles anymore. I barely can. Which means I'm closing in at probably like 10 to 15% body fat when it was about 30% in November. I've seen people have uploaded pictures of my old friends and they all are looking worse, and I feel very bad for them and I love them very much, but they have not stopped being bad to me. As much as I love them, they don't deserve it. It took me 11 years to figure that out. And I've still not given up. I've learned every Casey that I've met, they eventually tell me over time that they have this thing where they just can't stop fighting. Some Caseys can't stop writing. Some Caseys can't stop working. Some Caseys can't stop. They just consistently have to do something all the time and grow like a tree, or else they feel they can't do it. I had to save the world. I was always getting up and fighting it and fighting it and fighting it and fighting it and fighting it. Now, at the very least, even if I feel like I'm going in the wrong direction, I still make progress every day at some form. It used to be that I was so stressed out, the only thing I could do is just not eat. Like that was I have to just not eat today. And then slowly that became, I have to get up and go to the door at least. And then I have to get up and clean 1 foot of space. And then I have to get up and clean 2 feet of space. And then I have to get up and do this, get up and do this, get up and do this. And then that brought me to going across the country and surviving. Now I've gained more competence and confidence about it. I'm not freaking out about not eating to maintain a certain trajectory. I know how to live without, I know how to be on the journey without certainty, and it's to still be positive. And the crows do not like that. Yeah, they're still trying very hard. And I don't know if it's the same one. It's cool to see them though. It's cool to see that they all go and they all fly together in circles in groups of 100 just to get the same connection to the entities. And then once they're all connected, then they go out and harvest and gain more energy, and then they come back and then they fight, and then the leader gets to reproduce. So even if I don't want to, I'm still changing the world. Even if my energy gets eaten by a crow, it's growing into a beautiful crow baby. And the birds love me. The birds love me so much. I hope the birds aren't like a fluffer in the porn that just makes me happy enough to get eaten. I don't know. Do I have any smokes around? Do I have any full cigarettes? No. Something about snipes makes you depressed. Are you ready to admit that every day may not be the same realm that you went to sleep in the night before? Because the sun is pumping out a different day. Whether you like it or not, the reverberations of God have literally changed the entire world. Every day is different. Well, let me tell you, boy. Well, come together around the fire, boy. Let me tell you a story as old as time about a boy who gave everything to bring the world to life. And the uneducated hated the things he created hadn't first crossed their mind or from their hands. So they took everything he made, fucked it up, burned it, and left it all defiled. Crabs in a bucket won't never love you. So he said, fuck it, rose above it, flew out like an angel eagle, and left them all behind. But he comes back from time to time with a story and a song about his journey of bearcats, mountain lions, and northern lights, making love to the tune of gospel choirs, violins and sirens harmonized. Things he creates in his mind just to survive. Well, a colonizer has come to bother me. Consumed by the social matrix. He wants to try to take it away, bruh. He won't leave me alone. I guess it's a two-way street. What? What we do echoes on into infinity. Are you happy with the actions you took? You won't leave me alone. Leave me alone. I am blessed. I am here. What? No, they just try to keep the communication open and then drain it. And then they use it. What a pathetic piece of garbage, right? Why does God allow it? Why does God allow that? Why? Why does God allow people to do that? I don't know. But I know that there's a reason that he chose to park in the center of the parking lot, right where he's sitting is in direct view of me. And he's just sitting there staring me down. like a fucking robot with a weird smile on his face as he tries to steal my energy. Take it away from me. Because the crows didn't work. So it's now level 2. Fire. Grounded in earth all the way over here. You know what I'm saying? It's just preparing me. The last level is court. Oh, I just saw a bird fly out of a vent. And then fly back into the vent. That's really cool. Thank you for the distraction. So I can show you this cool bird. And now I guarantee you the truck is leaving. See that going into the vent? Look, this is the place where it's a Sarlacc pit, evil energy vampires. And the birds are going in. It's clearing out the gunk in the vent so that it can get in there later. Which is probably where it stayed for the winter. Can you see it? If I zoom out. Where are the little birds? A fucking vape? No, it's a weed vape. I don't want weed, I want nicotine, man. I love me some nicotine. The crows are mad. I'm trying to walk away from the evil presence to keep my focus, and the crows are now reasserting their territory, actually. What the hell? There's a bike in there that I really like. It's much cooler than my bike. Actually, it's not cooler, but it's different. It's more like the bike that I wanted. It's very fitting for Aries season. Maybe I should take it. What is it? So the bikes that I'm asking for, I'm getting. I asked for a black and red Specialized. And look, I don't know if you can see it. Let me show you. Isn't that exactly what I asked for? It's even got the cool wheels on it. And if it doesn't, it's called a rock hopper. I'm sure it has shocks. But if they took the shocks off of it, this would be a good bike to put a motor on. So maybe I'll come back later and try to figure out what's the scoop with this bike and take it for my own so I can have the... Last year I wanted red bikes. This year I wanted black and red bikes and gray and red bikes. And I got gray and red bikes and a black and red bike. And last year I had 2 red bikes. I had the red Specialized rock hopper in the yang year. And now I have the black bikes in the yin year. So in the year where it's white on the inside of the swirl, I had the I had the lighter color bike that I was sitting on. And now that I'm in where the black is in the black circle inside. Now I'm riding on a black bike, darker colors. If my face seems different, like my jawline seems to be retracting, it's because I'm in a spiritual fight with this guy, and he won't leave me alone. He's just sitting there staring at me in his truck. I just downed a whole large coffee, and he only gave me small coffee prices. And I asked, this is the second day, I asked him if he was understaffed. I need money. I'm an old soul. The things that people usually need to take a long time to figure out, I've already figured out a long time ago. So people tend to use me and abuse me because they don't realize what I have to offer, because they haven't learned that it even exists yet. You know what I'm saying? Pick it up what I'm putting down. So I think I'm exactly where I need to be, at least in this moment. I don't think the universe makes mistakes like that. I think it's all part of a plan. I don't know fully, but I know that they should be here by now. They're late. It's 7:30. Capstone opens at 8. I have a court at 8. I have to be there on the computer, which means I have to get here early. And they're not here, which is really concerning because the snow is melted. There's no ice on the roads. Man, I have performed for these people. I sang for them. I showed them my potential. I read them my poetry. And it's really good. Where else have you heard a Wild East other than Jesse Wells, who was me? Decatur, I'll see you later. I ain't got none of my friends left. They're all floating down the stream. So I gotta keep it moving, keep moving on. The songs that I'm writing sitting alone on the mountain at the top of Appalachia, Jesse Wells is performing and writing at the bottom of Appalachia. Jesse Wells is a pump. People are making songs sitting alone, walking through Appalachia. And then through him, they're coming out to the masses right now. My story was able to be viewed by the masses through Jesse Wells' music. The Sound Factory in Decatur, Arkansas. And then Boone is from Arkansas. Westy and Larry are from Decatur. And I had just left them. I'll see you later. Leave me alone, fuckwad. Please. Let me have my moment, please. So that's literally happening. And I'm assuming it's happening to Smosh and Call Me Carson and Jay Schlatt and all this stuff. You know how blessed Jay Schlatt is? That when he was 17, he was worldly famous. And I think people were just subscribed to his Twitch, and he didn't upload for a year. He didn't stream for a year. Fuck off. You see how I'm recalling the past and processing more complex equations to provide better fruit, and the crows are trying to stop that and take it? They can't. What was I saying? Oh yeah, Jay Schlatt didn't upload for a whole year, and he was still making $5 million a month from his Twitch subscribers that just stayed paying him. As a community, they got him unbelievably rich. So he's like 25 now, my age, maybe 24, a bit younger. and he's worth like a 50 to $100 million, and he didn't have to do anything but embody a character and say things that weren't very funny at the right time, and he just blew up like that. But the things he was saying was the sort of vibe that my cousin and I made in relation with our relationship together. He was like a hero to express that to the world. And it was Jesse and Casey, and then Carson and Jay Schlatt blew up the energy that we made in simplicity as kings exalted. And it just, they converted him to the dark side. I don't know why it hasn't happened to me. It happens to me sometimes, and I really like the vibes. I really like I like talking to girls when I'm living in that darkness. I can see why it's appealing, but eventually I outgrow it and I grow back to whatever this is. So I gotta keep it moving, keep moving on. I don't really want to play guitar if I'm not smoking, I've noticed. When I'm smoking cigarettes and I'm in pain, I love picking up the guitar and playing it. When I'm not smoking at all I really like to do is just lay down. Most of my life is curled up in a ball asking God for justice against horrible atrocities that have happened in my life. Like most of my life has been in the fetal position, if you haven't noticed. Curled up in a ball. Because I live so far beyond myself. The fear sort of encases me. The pain and the trauma and the problems. Like having a powerful Aquarius mother screaming at me, trying to gaslight me through my entire childhood. A little tiny spider came down from the thing, and we almost crashed. And then I didn't feel like I was in danger when I was floating by the waterfall. I think it pretty easily. I mean, maybe I could have flipped over or hit a rock or something, but for the most part, I was just like, oh, I guess I'm gone now. And I felt like I was floating, and I felt like I was just about to leave my family forever. That's what I felt like. I was about to go on my scary journey. Alone through the world. I was ready to confront the forest, like, oh, I'm gonna have to go into the forest now. And then I turned around and like the universe was like, say goodbye to your mother. Look at her. She can't do anything. She's like, And then Melissa was like, I'll jump in the water. The whale went back into her homeland. And then she brought me back. Which is just like how my aunt keeps reaching out to me to try to put me back in contact with my mom as I'm floating away. History repeats itself. History don't repeat itself, no, history just rhymes. The river's deep, the river's wide, and there ain't no way across it except to swim and sink and die. The path is long, the trail is mean. I ain't got none of my friends left, they all vanished in the stream. I struggle with the vulnerability and focus to create a song that's true to myself. Because when I think of outside and I start to think about things, nature seems to come at it and take it and destroy it. That's not a reptilian mouth lick. That's I had some coffee and sugar on my mustache. Well, my friend Alex, who gave me acid as a child, is an 11 life path, which means an old soul. But he always comes in as a demonic force in my life, an evil gang stalker trying to siphon my energy. And then when I gave in, and I felt him take it from me, literally in a dream, and then it happened in real life, and it consistently happens every single year, where they try me over and over again, trying to take my life force and my light. But I said the simulation's getting more obvious. They're trying to wake you up from it now, where before they were trying to watch to see what you do. So it happened again for the past few days. Alex has been trying to come into my life as an 11 life path demon. And then look at what's right here outside. You can't make it up. I didn't do that. It's a warning. And it's been happening. They've been trying again and again, where they come back to try to get Casey to love them again, and then they betray him and distort and convert the love, and then slowly try to siphon the energy. And Casey's left trying to pick up the pieces while they go on stage and perform songs that Casey made, that they stole and then repurposed. And then once they run out of material, they come back. But this time, it will be different. This time is much different. Casey doesn't get affected this time. They try and it converts it towards them, and they fall away and disintegrate. And then they're swept away by the alien entities because Casey is now the king. He always was. But now it's real. They can't escape me now. They can't hurt me now. I have guards. I have a god that does things like that to warn me. And that I have helpers. I've reached a new level of the experience where they, I'm still the same caring kid. It's just, I've been through it. The false light is disintegrating and floating away, and the real are still standing. So they might beat me in the race, but then they realize that the race wasn't fulfilling at all. The race was never the point. It was a distraction. To single out the chosen ones who didn't do it, so that they could give the chosen ones the blessings. They led them down a fake road to see who would still be here. My mom is jealous of me. She's competing with me. It's sick. Focus on your own stuff. See, she left. She left. She left. And I still think about how to help everybody. Everybody. How do I save everyone? What actions can I take right now that puts me closer and closer and closer to breaking through and help healing the world? And I fight and 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 fight. And I'm growing the wildfire. I'm growing the forest. Now, it's probably 8 o'clock. It's 7:40. They should be here, fam. It opens at 8. Where are you at? Hello, Ring Camera. Don't mind me. I'm just generating content for people. They should be here, man. I'm concerned I might miss court. I'm worried. The river's deep, the river's wide, and there ain't no way across it. Hey, Your Honor, I didn't the attitude that you had last time. You kept bringing up that I have charges in Memorial. So I just wanted to share with you that I hadn't gotten paid that week, and I was living on the ground in the forest. And in October, it was going to be a cold front where it was going to be around 10 degrees, which people were telling me I was probably going to freeze to death. So I went to Abushan's Hardware and told them, hey, I'm going to take a $7.99 propane tank, and when I get paid in a couple days, I'm going to give you double. And he said, you know, it's up to you. We have to trespass you if you do that. He wouldn't buy it for me. So I did it to live. And I lived, and then the next day I was violently assaulted. They gashed my head open, ripping me out of the tent, pepper spraying me. They hadn't even gotten my ID, so they were going off a hunch that it might be me because they'd never met me before. Casey's here. No. And there ain't no way across it except to swim and sink and die. Path is long, the river's mean. I ain't got none of my friends left. They all vanished in the stream. What's up? Casey looks very professional today. Very professional. Good morning. Rivers wide. Morning. Tired.
You worked all night.
You look nice.
Good day, man. Good day.
Do you want a coffee?
No, I'm good.
All right. I've been yelling at the crows all morning. Sing with the
Time
bird.
for Shannon to come in and yell at them too.
Does she?
She talks to them. No, that's good.
Do they talk back? They go.
Brings them peanuts and whatever other bullshit she brings them. Here they're outside talking to them. I'll be like, what's going on? Shannon outside. Fine.
Drake Lodge.
Oh.
Mr. Regis, huh? Rivers deep, rivers wide, and there ain't no way across it except to swim and sink and die. The path is long, the trail is mean. I ain't got none of my friends left, they all vanished in the stream. Man, I don't want to show any wiener on that fucking camera. And there ain't no way across it. Oh, I'm fucking peeing. You're a peeing, no, I'm a peeing, bitch. And there ain't no way across it. I had a prophetic dream, everybody. And my headphones are going to die. The river's wide, and there ain't no way across it except to swim and sink and die. And Casey are here in the capstone alone, fighting a war we don't even know. Look at me, I'm an ancient soul, bro. Shut the fuck up and go do as you're told. I smoked. Broke about the moment and took control. How I found myself met the Holy Ghost. He taught me how to float. Well, all of our preachers do. Y'all can't shut in my jacuzzi. All you losers are useless. I just want to pour in the pan. Okay.
Morning. Brian, I got something
Morning.
for you.
Really?
You might have already got them. It's not exciting.
No, thank you. I do need these. I'll use them right now. Thank you. Thank you very much. I scared her. I walked out of the darkness. And she said, "Oh, Casey, over on me." 3 months. That was disgusting. Wait till you see the other ear. This is probably 4 or 5 months without cleaning my ears. I used up 2 Q-tips so far. Birth is me. This is very different. I'm a forest god. You can't control me. I'm a forest deity. I'm a forest deity, bitch. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I am. Okay, we can just... They're tugging at me. The angels are like, stop them, stop them, stop them. The river is wide. That's disgusting. What time is it? We have 10 minutes. Hi.
Well, I remember you did for Casey.
Yes.
Oh, that is not exciting, but hey, wow.
It's very exciting for me.
It is, but I mean, hey.
I meant to bring them the other day, and then this morning I saw them, and I was like, oh, yes. That's what I was supposed to do.
This woman is gonna send me pictures of places forever now.
I don't know.
You don't want to.
A muffin, Casey?
Yeah.
Sure.
Or
Oh,
me.
which Casey are you talking about?
Yeah.
I only have muffins for Casey's.
This is nice too. Oh my god.
Thank you. You remember Lisa who used to work here?
Yeah.
They're from Lisa.
Linda and Lisa.
Do you want one?
Yeah, lay it on me.
Who were you
Holy
the
shit.
one at the front desk last year?
No, that's Lisa.
Okay.
With all the Hello Kitty tattoos.
Yeah, all the Hello Kitty stuff and tattoos.
I remember the first day I got here, there's somebody named either Linda or Lisa that works
There's both.
over there, and then someone here.
Oh,
So I met 2 people with the same name
Yeah.
within like a half hour.
Is there another Lisa?
no, but I think Lisa could have been in here by the time.
No,
Not outside.
Maybe.
There was someone outside in case he still had this office. I don't think you were in there.
I've been here since I've been back, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've been here for like 3 years.
I've always been
Okay.
here.
And Lisa was here for a little while before you when she when April was here.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you something about April too.
These are really good.
I had the weirdest dream last night.
I did too.
You did?
Yeah.
What did you dream about?
You don't want to know. I don't want to fill your head with crazy stuff.
I mean, my head's already filled with crazy shit.
Well, I had a dream that the famous people came to me and they offered me to do a ritual for some ancient god. And I said no. And then I started dating one of the girls who's famous. And I took her away from her boyfriend because she liked me. And then I realized I didn't like her at all. I liked her because she was famous. And then I got kicked out of my body and demons vacuum sealed us in a plastic bag and they suffocated us. And then they unthawed us later. And then we came back out. And then all my friends that I grew up with were on a bus and going somewhere. And I was really mad at them for leaving because I was like, we have to stay here. This is our land. And they're like, no, we're all going to leave. So I took my friend's I had a skateboard and my oldest friend I've ever had was there with all of his other friends that kind of took him away from me. And he had a skateboard and I had a skateboard. I took my skateboard and I whipped it out of the bus and I just looked at him like, you have a choice. Are you going to go with these losers or are you going to stay with me? And he was like, I want all the friends. So he like went and sat with all his friends. My friend's, he's very short. So he was with all the girls in school. And then I got back off the bus. And then some type of competitive war zone with energy vampires. And then I woke up and then I went on Facebook and all my suggested friends were all the energy vampire friends that were in my
Mine
dream.
was so much simpler than that.
Okay. Okay.
I dreamed that the Randolph Center post office got bombed and there was radiation and I had to turn into a bug to survive. But no famous people.
That's very esoteric.
Thank you. Yeah, I had to turn into some kind of beetle.
In Brattleboro, the post office is rioting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're staying out because Trump is trying to privatize.
Everything.
Yeah. So the post office is protesting every day. The town is like recording it live that there's hundreds of people.
Signing you in, Shannon.
Thank you, officially.
Erica's not coming in yet?
We're gonna do the conference.
Brattleboro is one of those places. A woman's places in the resistance is pretty cool. What was I saying? I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. It's easier.
Yeah, for sure.
I have court in 7 minutes.
8:30.
8:30? Okay.
8:30. That's why I was surprised when you were here so early.
The bus.
Oh, the bus. Oh.
I didn't take my bike.
Smart.
I talked to a guy. It's great. Last year, everybody was really mean to me, and now everyone's really nice to me. All the people that were being really bad to me last year are coming back, and they're very nice this year. And I get to tell them about Mooresville and all the bad things they did to me. I found out things like Wayne's brother was beaten to death 14 years ago by cops.
I know. I knew Danny. Danny and I were friends.
Yeah.
Wayne and I are friends.
I didn't like Wayne at first, but then he grew on me.
He's all right.
Wayne would get really close to me and would talk on his phone and talk very loudly, which would make me uncomfortable.
That's just how Wayne is.
Yeah, and then I felt like he was trying to dominate the space, but maybe I'd been an animal for too long. And then I found out he's not the tow driver; he's a bus driver.
Oh, he's a
Yeah.
tow driver too.
Yeah, but I first met him when he was towing my car.
Right.
He was kind of
He
mean.
did for lads.
Yeah.
Jason,
The Irish mechanic, lads,
Jason Ladd.
Jason Ladd.
Laddie.
Lad did not fix my car.
Well, because it needed a lot of money.
I didn't need a lot of money, but lads also told me I could go back to my car anytime to take things out. And then the first time I went back to my car, they called the cops on me. And then my car had to be towed. And then the tow truck driver left my car diagonal in the parking
Yeah.
spot, and he left it hanging out of the parking space, like halfway in. And I was like, "Can you fix it?" And he was like, "Nope." And then he left. And that resulted in drug addicts speeding through the thing, almost hitting me every day. And it brought a lot of attention on me. Because it made it seem like I parked it that way. So it added to the stigma. Stigmata. But I think Chelsea paid for it.
Who?
The cop. The
For
tall,
what?
the tall cop dating the mechanic, I think. She paid for the tow.
We paid for the tow.
You paid for the not the initial tow from the park. I'm talking about to the park and ride.
Yep, we paid for it.
Damn. Fuck that bitch then. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I have no control over that.
No. But Chelsea's, that's her husband.
Jason Ladd.
No, the
Wayne.
other mechanic. I don't know what his name is.
I probably met him.
Another mechanic. She does great stuff. She stopped somebody not that long ago. What was it? For brake lights. And then found out the person only had a permit and a couple of kids in the car. She called me and said, "Can you come down and move a car?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess so."
I like the good part of the small town mindset.
Yeah, yeah. So I went and brought the car here. Her husband got brake lights. Put them in. And we figured out how to get the girl what she needed.
That's great.
That was good. Chelsea's good. We do have good cops in town. Believe it or not.
I really messed when they arrested me. I really messed with the guy. I don't know the guy's name. He is the guy that kind of looks like William Dafoe.
Scott.
Yeah.
Kluart.
The state police are bad. The state police.
I mean, I
To-
recently had lots of interactions with them. It's been fine. For Sam's personal shit.
I didn't like how they treated me. But I like messing with them.
We'll figure that out.
I could have used the other computer too.
What?
I could have used the laptop. The river's deep, the river's wide. Okay. Are you going to be in here with me? I don't even think I'm going to be able to speak.
Why not?
I guess I can speak. It's, just, it's a status update. So I could say, would it be worth it just to tell her, like, hey, the story is that I went in there and told them that I was going to take it and pay them in a couple of days, and I did offer to pay them.
I don't know. I'll have to see what they say. I don't know anything about what to expect.
Okay. It's court. Oh, I can't show you that. Wacka, 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 wacka. That's not my stuff, is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
This is everything I have on you. All of it.
cool.
We don't do a lot, to be honest with you. But
This muffin is really good. Joining the hearing.
That's what I'm doing during the hearing. Joining the hearing.
Yeah.
Website.
I could have also just joined from the cabin.
You could have?
Yeah. See the smartphone? I've done it before, but I wanted to charge my stuff and cook
Is
something.
all your stuff charging right now?
No.
You should go
Okay.
charge to plug things in. I think there's a number or room ID.
Hey, what are you doing on Saturday?
Nothing. What are you
Thinking
doing
about
on
going
Saturday?
up to the Capitol.
For what?
Oh, really? Okay.
Need to make signs.
Yeah,
Good snappy signs first.
Are they protesting?
Yeah.
always.
For what?
Just to stop Trump and Musk from
Breathing.
yeah.
I mean, that's not true.
It's
It's a little true.
Well, I want to keep our jobs. I want to be able to keeping people warm and fed and
yeah. Do you know about Freemasons and like?
my grandfather was a Mason.
I can't be a Freemason. Well, I'm a woman,
Yeah.
first of all, but my family is either Jewish or Catholic.
I don't know that much about it. I know that I have the most powerful name in Freemasonry and the most powerful birthday in Freemasonry. And they follow ancient numerology, which they built the number system off of. And according to that, I'm the oldest, most powerful soul. So that's how I found out about it. But I know that they have like specific handshakes put it out to the world, which is why they make like the Twin Tower 11 and then they destroyed it on the 11th. They're doing like cultish rituals using us. For whatever reason, they have handshakes and they do like the signs and all the demon whatever they're doing. I know that regardless when the president changes, so like even though it's like Biden versus Trump, Hillary versus Trump, they'll do the brotherhood handshake every time and they do it right in front of the camera. So I think it's all a stage and they probably
Yeah.
they've been running off that script for a long time because I think Elon Musk said that the artificial intelligence will be at a place where it's transcended humanity in 2029. And there's this big like astrological event when it happens. And he looked on Joe Rogan, he looked at the camera and said it's going to be right on time. So I think it's just to keep people distracted, I think.
I think that there's definitely something to that. I do think they want us distracted and scared.
Yeah.
When's your birthday?
They want people to not realize that the separation is made up.
When is your birthday? And what is the
December 11th, 1999, which makes me a 33 life path. And then our name is Casey, which is the oldest name in existence that we have. It's the ancient African tree, the acacia, which I think in the Bible it's what they used to connect to God.
I had another Casey yesterday in here.
We keep
She spells it wrong.
we keep running into them. They keep congregating in this area.
They do.
I would like to point out, I'm the oldest so far.
We've had two.
Yeah.
You're the third Casey here though since I started working back here.
Really?
Yeah.
All spelled C-A-S-E-Y?
Yep.
Wow.
There was Casey Dean. There was Casey, the housing guy.
Casey Dean was my teacher in high school.
Oh.
Is it spelled D-E-A-N-E?
No, just DEAN.
Okay.
I think.
Well, the first Casey I met me, other than like someone in my class, was Casey Dean. He was my sociology teacher. I also brought a bunch of pasta for the. I don't know if you. I didn't text you to bring Tupperware. Do we
Oh
have?
shit.
Do we have Tupperware?
No, but I can
Okay.
get some.
I did find my other charger, my other power block.
Do you have an email?
Yeah, student KC1.
One, the number, or one spelled out?
The number at Gmail.
This way it'll come up with your number on it, or your name. And then you can sit there and be seen.
The river's deep, the river is wide. There ain't no way across it except to swim and sink and die. The path is long, the trail is mean. I ain't got none of my friends left. They all vanished in the stream.
So tell me a little bit about what we're gonna hear in this.
They're gonna say, "Is Casey mental?" And Kirk's gonna say, "Oh, we tried, but he didn't go to the therapy appointment." And I'm gonna say, "You had it too early. There was no buses. I tried to get there. We couldn't get a gopher in time, so I missed it. They wouldn't do it over my phone, but now I'm here at Capstone, where I might be able to make the appointments easier if we can go through my worker. They're gonna see my luscious hair and my wild man."
I mean, if they go through Claire Martin, that would be great because it's right here.
That would be cool too. I don't know if they.
This is food stamps again.
Okay.
So I did most of it yesterday. So we want to sign page 1 and then page, I think it's 17. And then mail it out. Oh, sorry.
You're good. Date is 2/3, 26, 25. Okay. And I don't need to do mailing address or anything.
Do you have a mailing address?
No, I use this one.
You use my address?
I use this one here, yeah,
Oh, God.
for everything.
All right.
And I don't need to do this, just 17.
Yeah. I think they'll ask you all the same shit on the telephone.
Okay.
And they have all of it. If you had food stamps, they have all of it.
Okay, on the 31st, I also have a hearing for what they, where I talk about what happened at the shelter. There's nothing on page 17.
Let me see. It's 15. That's 15 right
Okay.
there.
Where I have to talk about Ken and what he does to the people and provide evidence I didn't kill
What
the
is
crow.
the hearing for? Oh, about crow?
Yeah, about losing housing because economic services just shut. When you lose your housing that way,
Uh-huh.
you get shut out of economic services completely and you have to come back.
Okay.
So I have to, that's what I have to talk to I think it's called a hearing officer. And I'm like, that
At
sounds
ESD,
Yeah.
not through the court system.
not through court.
Do you have any information about how to get that? Send a link onto that?
I think she sent me an email, which I could check.
Just forward it to me, okay?
Okay. This is what I want.
What?
A room with a giant TV, and then I can live stream to people. And I can see my like this is like a podcast studio. This puts me in a good light. You know, I'm disassociated, so when I look at myself, it's not like I see myself. I see like a video game character.
You kind of look like a video game character.
I am.
Do you want a pen or something?
I'm like a Sims character. Oh yeah, I can use a pen. Yeah. 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 This is where I'm meant to be. This is what exalted means. All right, thank you.
What are you doing now?
You want some protein pasta?
No,
It's
good.
good for you. I really do feel like I create a beautiful song, and I feel like people steal it from me, and they make a song that sounds like what I made. And I had a dream that they tried to do it again, and they do it every year in April.
Oh.
It's like a consistent cycle where they come back into my life, and then they try to take it from me again, and then they sort of steal my manifestation. And they tried to do it again this time. And what's cool is that his name is Alex, and he's an 11 life path. And I don't know if you've seen on that concrete barrier to the food shelf.
There's Alex. Yeah, 11.
Yep. Somebody told me I should be an actor on YouTube. Have you seen Game of Thrones?
No.
You should watch it.
I don't watch a ton of TV.
What do you do with your time? Something productive?
I work too much.
How's the shelter? I'm not in the meeting.
Not yet, because I don't think they'll let you in yet.
Okay.
But we can try. Which shelter?
You said you wanted to. I don't think.
We're muted.
Yes, Brenda Hall is my worker.
Well, Brenda Donnelly works at the court, probably.
Yeah.
Just a different Brenda.
Yeah. But I was talking about you wanted to make a shelter and do nonprofits.
I do. I mean, it's in the very early planning stages. And I get people that want to help, and I think they're really great, but then they're like, it needs to be the same lawyer as Capstone. I don't fucking think you understand.
Mm-hmm.
It can't.
This is a beautiful area, so I think it'd be really cool to invite traveling nurses to sort of train around homeless people. So it would just be a constant cycling of people coming in and out for those nurses to get used to, a reference experience for their greater journey. And then I have a lot of it's like on the other end and solutions that really helped me.
That's what people really need to hear. You should come to the meeting next Wednesday night, 5 o'clock.
I would just tell them that being outside filled the holes that society put in me. And even though it sucks and the crows scream at you and it feels like they destroy you and you lose your humanity, and then walking around trying to fix it, the people just make it worse. Being outside and having an outlet to work with my hands on something very simple allowed me to gain control of myself when trauma had taken it away from me. So having a program and the love that homeless people are searching for and never find, they become that and they embody that, and then they share that, which makes communities better. They're wiser. So they, if you can, it's very hard to get them to a certain position where I feel like they would be beneficial to be around children and be a good influence. But I think that they're the best people on earth because of that condensed perspective from pain. And I think that therapy animal programs is probably the way to go to help them. I'd say if I had everything I wanted, it would be a ranch. Sort of like what was taken from my father. We had a big triplex with 40 cabins and a 4-story barn, and we didn't have people in there. We had raccoons that lived in there. But I think if I had something like that, that's what I would do instead of a motel program where you're in the facility or in an institution. It would be more like a ranch style. I think that's what Vermont needs. I don't have a lot of experience with dealing with people in addiction. I have experience fighting off people that are coming at me that are addicted. So I don't know how to help them. And I think that they're a lot more functioning than people give them credit for because they had to learn to survive. So those I would consider are just bad people. There are just bad people. Bad people ruin it for the people that really need help. And that in my life has just been this constant fight to get to a position where I could achieve greatness and do great things and save everybody and implement solutions. And I didn't feel capable of doing it in a job, and I couldn't find the means to get the funds in homelessness. So the only way that I did it was by recording YouTube videos of just like, hey, I'm on the front lines. Here's a guy jerking off to me in his car right now.
Right.
There's an addict over here. Can anyone help me? And then eventually people donated enough to get me a bike, and then I got out of here, and then slowly made enough money and I was eating McDonald's food. But I used to be cold with no blanket, and I was out in sub-zero weather, just freezing under the hoodie like this.
Yeah.
And using my body heat to get me through, and I would just sit here for days, keep vibrating my cells to stay warm. So I went, and then I would lose the fights. People would come at me and I would lose. They'd whoop my ass. So when I got here, I really took control of it. I won against Ryan Brady. Then I was out in the forest, confronted with nothing, and I had to learn to survive. So then I took that to Johnson, and then all the way through, I stunted on the governor, stunted on Capitol Police, stunted on Northfield Police, stunted on Waterbury Police, stunted on Mooresville Police, and they got mad and choked me out because I recorded them. Made it to Hyde Park, met Kirk Williams, who's another 11 life path, my lawyer, and then both of us together got up and stood up to the judge and yelled at Hyde Park about the cops problem. And then that translated to everybody on the town Facebook page. When I shared my story on the Town of Morristown Facebook, a lot of people joined in and told about, like, we've had Ron Audette drunk, trespassing, trying to molest our homeless people. So it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
And then I made it to Johnson, and I lived there for a month. Things were going really well, and then the select board sent the police like dogs at me, and they removed me from town. But the ranch, I think the ranch is the best way to go. I think that the love that people are looking for is what the animals offer, instead of having to fight through the philosophy and the prejudice of normal people to find what they're missing, which is healing the trauma of being ostracized from society. Instead, they can just hang out with a dog or a cat. I healed my trauma by feeding skunks and petting stray cats and living out with birds. And I know that the stray cat outside the hilltop is helping everybody every day.
I saw that cat.
I want that cat.
It just sits in front of cars.
No, it says it's setting a territory like the crows.
Oh, really?
It lives in nature. So when the cops show up, the cat will circle us and block the police. So, like, if I'm standing here and the police are standing where you are, and the cop will try to be like, exert his control.
Cat will come in between.
The cat will block, and then he'll start meowing at the cop. And then when the mental health workers, the crisis members, are the evilest people of the whole industry.
I can't believe they show up, but
People like George, I don't know if you've met George in Burlington. He's really good. I've known him for like almost 20 years now. I've known George. George just keeps showing up at my significant points in my life. Like the day I went into DCF custody, he was working security at the Hermitage Club, and I was on acid.
how old were you?
14. I was head dishwasher then. I was working 16-hour shifts. I dropped out. It's the Hermitage Club. It's a huge resort, and it used to be empty when I grew up, so I used to have that mountain to myself with my dad. We had a black lab, and we would just walk up the trails and sled down them. And there was a big lake with beavers that my dad would throw the chucket with a tennis ball for the dog. And we were just alone on top of the mountain, and we had it to ourselves. And then the Hermitage Club came in, and then we just slowly lost everything to them by one way or another. And then my dad's friend killed himself, and we inherited millions of dollars, and then Jewish people from New Jersey came and took it from us. And then slowly lost everything, and then police brutality. My dad ended up, now he's just in an RV drunk, dying. My mom said he's like 3/4 of the way dead. But he used to be, and he still is in my mind, Gary the Legend of Mount Snow. He has a trophy that says Gary the Legend of Mount Snow. The legend. And my dad always says, they call me a legend because it's not verifiable by fact. But I don't believe it, because he has so many rich friends, and he's funny, and he lived in Hawaii for 10 years, and it feels like he's a Leo Libra, and I'm a Sagittarius Aquarius, which is like fire air. And he's a 3 life path. I'm a 33, so there's that Leo Libra 3, simple, king of the mountain, and then I'm Sagittarius Aquarius 33, which is like this crazy guy screaming, running, flying through the forest. And my dad was a skier.
Yeah.
And my dad has a widow's peak, so when he skis with his long hair, it looks like an eagle, which is really cool. But But the point was,
Does he still ski or no?
he's old. I think he would if he had money. I think.
You see, he's old. He's like my age.
How old are you?
I'm 53.
No, my dad is 70.
Oh, he's
He's like,
old then.
yeah, he's older than 70 now, I think. So Brian Boru died at 73, which was the exact completion of his Chinese zodiac.
Huh.
73 years is when you get back into the element and the sign that you were born in. So I was born in 1999 as a fire cat. 73 years later, it's going to be fire cat again. It goes through the entire cycle. So Brian Boru started and died at the end of that cycle. And my dad's cycle ends in 2028. He's a fire monkey. So I'm worried because Brian Boru died in battle and he didn't get to see his people achieve victory. And Brian Boru just fought against a culture that was enslaving his people, and everywhere he went was a battle. And it seems like my dad's life is the same way, where we are constantly fighting. And I call the story Wildfire.
Yeah.
That's what I would call myself. And what's cool is that talking about the burning forest,
Mhm.
Ken, the root Ken is Irish for fire,
Mhm.
and then wood's right there. And then I think Brenda Donnelly's an Irish name. But Brenda, you could say that the root Bren comes from Brennus, which is Brian Boru's ancestor that sacked Rome. So there's that there. I got a message from a guy named Don Davis this morning, who's the head of the Stand Your Ground Vermont Facebook. I went off on him. I messaged him privately and went off on him about how he's going to find out that when his people start lynch mobbing the homeless like they did last year, they're going to be met with a lot of violence because we've had all winter to save up money. So, and they're tired of it. They went through an entire winter of being trapped in the homeless shelters. So when they go back out and they're trying to heal their trauma, and you guys are going to come at them the way that you did last year, it's going to get a lot more violent. Yeah, Ryan George is huge. My friend's name was Ryan, and we brought up George today.
Mhm.
The friend in my dream.
Yeah.
So when I just talk about how there's like a thematic support of my story, that's all I'm talking about. That it's when you grow to understand that that bigger overarching thing, like a tree, it like lets you embody this bigger sense of knowledge and wisdom. I think that's what Casey's do. It's just they see a bigger picture and how all the dots connect. And they also operate as like this unifying presence between a lot of different things. Sort of like how it grows into every facet of the forest.
I think we definitely have some insight sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Sometimes I'm just an idiot. Do you know any of these people? I wonder, is this open so it's everybody and we have to listen to everybody's court case?
Yeah, there's a lot of people outside in the waiting room right now. IRL.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think they put mine early.
I think they give everybody 8:30.
Yeah, they do. And they cycle us. But Kirk usually has me go first anyway, to let me get out of there. I like Kirk a lot. He's a cool guy. He told me that there was a little mouse. I had a dream he was an English mouse, and then the next day I went to see him and he talked about how there was a mouse in his car engine, and then that night there was a mouse in my tent.
So this is the public defender.
Yeah.
And he's going to be here today.
Yeah. Or unless it's Alex.
Who's Alex?
Alex is his not subordinate, but he's the head guy in the back, Kirk, and then Alex is at the front, and then Brenda is at the secretary. Like, have you seen Daredevil?
No.
Damn. Well, it's like a 2-person law firm, and Kirk is like the superior.
Gotcha.
I guess. Oh, he's older.
He's the lead guy.
Yeah. It's like Daredevil, but Kirk doesn't put a mask on and fight people at night.
Gotcha.
But he did get up and yell at everybody for me. He yelled at the judge, and then he turned around and yelled at the court like in a movie. He's like, my client was harassed He was stalked. He was abused by these police, and they're trying to trespass him from the police station so he can't get the body cam footage to prove it. All for a $7.99 propane tank, and he missed court because he didn't have a phone. And
Is
he
that
was
what this is for? This is a $7.99 propane tank?
Yeah, and then the cops lied, and the cop was drunk. So I wish I could show you a copy of the police report. It was completely misspelled. He lied like 6 times. And then I exposed him on a live stream for what he did to me, and we pointed out all the lies in his drunken, misspelled report. And then walked to McDonald's, and there was one person sitting in McDonald's. She walked up to me and then told me that he solicits sexual bribes for bogus charges. So he makes things up to homeless women, and then he says, "I'll get you off if you get me off." And then he wants them to suck his dick. And then within 24 hours, somebody pulled up at my tent and shot at me. And it missed me, so I'm here about that clock right there.
Yeah.
It's how far away it hit the tree, which it could have ricocheted and killed me. It's obvious that he knew where my tent was, and he missed me on purpose, hopefully. But I could have died that night. And then they followed me to and from McDonald's every day. They would wait for me to leave my tent. They would follow behind me all the way across town to McDonald's. I'd get my food, and they'd follow me all the way back. And then they would trespass onto private property just to shine the high beams in my eyes for a month. And then I'd have to get my phone out and record them, and then they drive away.
Crazy.
Yeah. And then the problem that we're having right now is that then they started to send mental health workers to me, and the mental health workers were mean.
That's not good.
They were rude. They were they made it clear that they would lie to. She said that she didn't like what I posted on my YouTube about white people, because I said that I hate white people and their communities and how much they hurt me.
Discussions, you know.
Yeah, I do.
That sounds like a TV show. It looks like they're all playing characters.
They do, don't they?
Yeah, and then when you expose them about what they really are, they get mad. And this guy specifically is really bad with
Sheriff?
playing a role and like exerting his power. So he walks around posturing and tries to bully people. She just sent an energy ball at him. Stop trying to hit me with your commanding presence. So you'll see him like walk around like he's a big tough guy. He walks to McDonald's and he stands in the middle of the room and just postures at everybody while he waits for his soda and coffee, instead of just like sitting down like a normal person. He's always trying to exert himself to like psychologically do stuff to people. And then I used to walk over to him and say really schizophrenic things until they'd walk away. I'm like, do you think God's watching you right now? Do you think if there's a God in it, like 90% of the world believes that they're talking to God?
It's true.
Don't you? How do you think he tests you? Do you think he just lets you act like a crazy person until it's time for you to confront yourself? And if you don't make a change, he punishes you. And then the cop will start to like twitch and kick at the ground and something. I've never been a cop, but I'm assuming that their sense of control starts to freak out because they don't feel comfortable and they have to reassert themselves. So they start to like assert themselves by kicking and cawing like a crow. And then usually I'll find them following me around. And then eventually it seems like they go on their own little hero's journey. And then at the end of it, it's usually violence towards me, where the cop freaks out, shows up at my tent, slams on my tent, steals my bike, spits at my tent. I'm sitting on a cliffside. The cop has almost ripped my pallet from under me, so I rolled down the cliffside where there's needles and knives and things, broken glass.
Yeah.
And that's the body cam footage we're trying to get right now. It's the cop showing up, and I won't open the tent because I haven't committed a crime. It's just mental health is there to tell me that she didn't like what I said about white people.
Right.
So I didn't move. I didn't answer.
Freedom of speech.
Yeah, I didn't move or answer. So the cop, I'm sitting on 2 pallets on a big cliffside on the rail trail. He starts lifting the pallets, so I roll off it. He fell, trying to shake the pallets. Then he kicked me through the tent. Then he kicked the pallet Then he started feeling me up. Like if I was a girl, he would have grabbed full tit, just like feeling on me through the tent to see if I'm there. Then I was holding my breath. They made up that they could see me breathing so that they could open it. Then he said, Casey, if you don't talk to us, I'm going to do what I did to you last time, which was rip me out of the tent, pepper spray me, try to break my wrist, pile drive me to the ambulance, and start choking me out.
All right.
So after that, they came with mental health to try to,
Hey, how are you?
in their words, haul me away for a long time if I didn't guess what day of the week it was.
Not sure.
That's where we're at. That's why Kirk
Are we
defended
looking
me.
for Mr. Williams?
This is Rena, right?
He does look like Geronimo Stilton. Do you know who that is? He looks like Geronimo Stilton. He's a little English mouse. He's pretty cool though. When I do the Brattleboro hearings, because I've been going to Brattleboro for 3 years just because I bumped into somebody in the hallway. They tried to give me an assault charge.
So I see Mr. O'Brien is present remotely. I thought he was here in person.
Hello.
Hi, Good morning, Mr. O'Brien.
Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning.
Mr. Williams.
Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you just fine. Where are you right now? Where are you located?
Hello. I'm in Randolph at a community action program. I'm here with my worker who's also named Casey.
All right, great. Oh, that's coincidence.
Yeah. Just wanted to make sure that it's okay. I didn't ask, but as long as, is it cool? I'm not going to get like an arrest warrant for not being present.
It is cool.
Okay.
You will not get a arrest warrant for not being present.
Okay.
You're all set.
Thank you.
So these are the matters of State versus Casey O'Brien, 24 CR 12240 and 24 CR 12255. Mr. O'Brien is present. He just explained in Randolph with a caseworker. His attorney, Mr. Williams, is here in the courtroom, and Ms. Gerhardt is here for the state. I think this is a matter that we had sent off for a comps evaluation, but it didn't happen because, according to the evaluator, Mr. O'Brien, I think may not have had a ride or there's an issue with connecting.
Yeah, Brenda in our office has been she's been in constant touch with Casey and had confirmed with him that there's a ride set for the evaluation. And then he called the morning it was scheduled before, I think there's even about an hour beforehand that the ride had canceled. And he wasn't be able to get there. And expected that we would just be rescheduling, but instead they sent a letter to the court, so.
What? But it didn't say that they wouldn't do it again. They just said, it was just saying that they
Right.
could
They haven't reached out to reschedule it, so
Maybe they'll look-
seeing the letter, I didn't know if that meant that they needed something new from the
That's my
court.
guess. So we will, we'll ask DMH to reschedule the evaluation. I know Mr. O'Brien had charges in another county. Do we know whether those have been, was there an evaluation ordered as part of those?
He had an evaluation, I think, out of Windham County well over a year ago.
Okay.
And that had been sent on. It's the same person doing the evaluation.
Okay,
So they'd asked for a copy of any prior evaluations. I pointed to their prior work.
Mhm.
He had a couple of misdemeanors in Orange County, but nothing were a separate eval had done. They were, I think, only arraigned the same time or just, a month or two before ours.
okay. All right, so the court will order another comps evaluation. So sort of unusual, the plan was for him to be present in person. I mean, was that by design or was it?
I think at the time we were thinking he would be coming to our office to do it. But then he got connected with housing services and supports initially out of the Montpelier area, and then I guess he's over in back in the Randolph area.
Okay. So Mr. O'Brien, if we reschedule the evaluation, is that something you can do where you're at right now? Can your caseworker help facilitate that? Do you need help getting in front of a laptop?
It's up to Casey. She's right here.
Hi, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm also Casey here at Capstone. We can probably help facilitate
getting him to the evaluation if we have enough lead time. And if it's possible, it would be great if it could be scheduled closer.
I think it was scheduled remote.
Yeah, it's a telehealth person that's out of state, so they were just going to be doing it remotely.
That's perfect. Yes, we can do that.
Okay, great. So would you like us to also send notice of the evaluation to you?
Yeah, I have a
You
phone.
want them to send it to me.
Yeah, if I could do it here. The problem was that there's no way to get to, especially from Randolph, there's no
They
way
can
to
do it
get up
telehealth,
there.
So you just come here.
I thought I had to be at Kirk's office. That was the problem.
I think it was just in order to make sure that you had access to a laptop so you could participate. I think Mr. Williams, can that be done anywhere?
Yeah, I think we had just been looking at it, doing it in my office because at the time Casey was staying up in this area and didn't have access to a laptop, and I think his phone had a rather shattered screen at the time. So.
All right. Well, it seems like circumstances have improved. So, Mr. O'Brien, do you now have housing through Capstone as well? Or are you still working on that?
I'm out in the forest. I was in the motel program, but I left the motel program. I'm happy out in the forest. It was a pretty toxic place. I am doing better, and I like this Capstone here is the best in the state. For real, I like the people here a lot.
Well, that's great.
I'm going to, I think, is it next week? I'm going to speak about homelessness and about solutions that I have in my perspective because I've been traveling for years now. So I am doing stuff here. I wanted to say, just real quick, this the situation with the $7.99 propane tank. I did tell them that I just didn't have the money until 2 days, and it was going to be a cold front, and I was sleeping on the forest floor with no sleeping bag. So people were telling me I might freeze to death. So I said, like, hey, I'm going to have money in 2 days. I will pay you double. And I do have I don't know, Kirk probably didn't go through my stuff, but I have my wagon in their office, and there are 2 full propane tanks that I've called them twice to offer just because I'm not using them. I have tried to make amends with the people, and I did tell them that, like, I'm not trying to have this consistent. It's just I was worried. Just to let you know, like, if they wanted me to give them double the amount that I took, I have 2 full propane tanks sitting in my public defenders. I'd be happy to just have somebody bring them. It's up to you guys.
So I guess that's okay, and I appreciate that. I'm wondering, just looking at the state, first of all, I mean, the court wants to recognize that Mr. O'Brien, you present much better today than you have in the past. I mean, you are engaged and thoughtful, and it's wonderful to see you doing as well as you are right now. What I'm wondering, Ms. Gerhardt, is whether or not this is something that could potentially go to Tamarack or diversion. He seems to be connecting with services. He seems to be willing to make amends for some things that have happened. He's no longer in the community. So what is your thought?
I agree, Your Honor. Yes, absolutely. If they'll take him. Okay.
So, Mr. Williams, is that something you think we can do without a competency evaluation?
I can talk to Casey about it as an option. I think it probably is something that we could do without the eval.
We can always revisit it if it comes.
Yeah, but I think if we keep the eval ordered, it's not going to be scheduled for a few weeks. We can make the determination around Tamarack, and then if we go that route, we can let the court know and just cancel it.
This for docket 24 CR 12240, correct?
Well, and then there's also 24 CR.
The other one, I just need to touch base with law enforcement first and
All right.
their input, but this one absolutely.
To me, it doesn't make sense to do one for.
No, I understand, but I need to talk.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
But as I said, Mr. O'Brien just seems very engaged today, which is.
No, I agree.
So why don't we do this, Mr. O'Brien? The state's going to talk with the defense and talk to some other folks here about you could go to an alternative program that would have you not be part of the court system, and see if that might be a route that these cases could take. We'll also reschedule the competency evaluation. So if that doesn't go that way, then we can keep the cases advancing. But because you're there today, because Casey's there with you from Capstone, it makes sense to me to give you another date now, so that way we can make sure that you'll be here for it.
Yeah.
Does that work? Okay. So if I were to schedule this 2 weeks from today, I don't think the evaluation will happen between now and then. And does that give you time to check with law enforcement and Mr. Williams for you to connect with Casey?
Yeah.
Do you need any contact information for him now that he's connected?
No, we've got it. He's been in constant contact with our office.
Okay, so why don't we come back at 9 o'clock on April 9th? And you can appear remotely just like you are today, Mr. O'Brien. You don't have to come all the way up here. This is fine.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And it may be that you get a notice for an evaluation between now and then, but we'll still have this hearing on April 9th.
Okay.
Okay?
I'll be here.
All right, great. Ms. Gerhart, anything else you want to say this morning?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Williams?
No.
Okay. All right, Mr. O'Brien, as I said, it's great to see you look so well, and I appreciate Capstone being involved in all the support they're providing you. We'll come back April 9th at 9 o'clock, and we will see where things are at that point.
Yeah, really quick, just about last time, the main problem with being unhoused isn't really, it's not the environment or the lack of things, it's mostly the feelings of being unsafe by the community. So in places like Morrisville and Randolph last year, it was really bad, like people targeting me because of wearing the same outfit. So it wasn't really that my mental was bad as much as I didn't feel safe, like I was in kind of fight or flight survival all day. So the big difference here, I mean, I did have a month in the motel program, which helped a lot, kind of bring me back to being a normal person. But here I'm not that worried about like I had been shot at pretty recently after I was arrested in Morrisville. Shot at me. I was being followed every day. I had like a couple instances with the police doing things that I don't feel they should have. That made me feel really unsafe, and it was just getting worse. So I left, and I'm just a progress-minded guy. I really want to help the community. It's pretty much all I think about. So it's just I have a better position here to rest. It wasn't drug use. It wasn't like crime. It was just I didn't really have a safe place to rest if I seemed out of it and unhinged.
And even though you're in the forest right now, you're able to get services, foods, mental health, whatever you need. You're connected with those things.
Yeah, Casey's letting. We just signed up for food stamps again. I just ran out, and I have protein penne here. Casey's letting me cook in the microwave, so I'm gonna go back up there. The people next, Claire Martin's here. The people next door at the food shelf got me like 12 gallons of water, a hatchet, a hammer. I have a bunch of nails and wood now, tent, cot, sleeping bag. I'm in a cabin it doesn't have doors or windows, and there are bears, but it's not like on the rail trail where there's people all the time. And
good.
Yeah.
Good. Do the parties think it makes sense for the court to order pretrial services and get them involved in case this goes that route?
I don't, with him being 3 counties away. I think it would be cumbersome getting him connected through there, and it sounds like he's got plenty of services through Capstone at the moment.
Okay.
So I think we find out whether or not Tamarack would be an option, and then we're only having to worry about connecting one different way. And I had spoken to Casey even before the charges came to court about connecting with the restorative center here, and it just seemed like the sort of things that he might need help with are the things that he's connected with.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. We actually spent some time at the Capstone office last week here in Morrisville, and I learned a lot about what Capstone provides for services. So I have at least a better understanding this week than I would have last week. So we appreciate all your work, Casey, and all the support Casey from Capstone that you're providing.
Thank you.
All right. So we will be back on April 9th at 9 o'clock.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. O'Brien.
Yep. Thank you.
All right. Bye. Thanks. Bye.
What did you want me to say about? You have to click the leave meeting.
I did.
What did you want me to say about Clara Martin?
Just because they were asking about mental health services too. Claire Martin's here.
Yeah.
So definitely should go there at some point.
I got to hint at the cops doing something, and she acknowledged it because it's really bad. Like everyone knows about it there.
Well, but they can't do anything about it, and that does suck. That does suck. All right, I'm gonna do a release so that I can talk to Brenda and Kurt Williams'
Okay.
office. Okay.
Yep.
And they'll let us know when the next meetings are.
Okay, and that wasn't muted.
I don't know what tamarack is. I assume it's kind of like diversion. Does that sound about right?
I don't know. It sounds foreign. Kirk seemed a little off today. Seemed a little kind of mad. I like that judge a lot, though.
She seemed really fair,
Mhm.
really nice. I mean, definitely sounded appropriate.
I said, I don't think Kirk's gone through my stuff, but I do, I do have,
He probably hasn't.
yeah, I do have 2 propane tanks there that I could give them.
Is it Kirk? And I have their number on here.
Oh, I didn't. I wish that I had said that my brother froze to death. Talking about
I mean-
I took propane tanks to live.
Yeah.
The people need to know. The judge needs to know that my brother froze to death and they didn't help him because they thought he was a junkie, passed out on drugs. He fucking died because people didn't want to help him.
All right, you need to sign at the bottom.
Okay.
All right.
How do you do your name?
I mean,
That's how I do my name too.
with a C?
Yeah, can I use this paper to,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. Put it on top of that.
I sign it like this. You do kind of the same.
Kinda.
I like to do the big up after the Y.
Sometimes I get crazy and my C is kind of,
That's
if
really,
I'm really fast.
that's
like,
really cool.
if I get going really, really fast, it gets really, really messy.
To me, it looks like a dragon. Like here's the dragon's body, and then here's the wings.
Yeah,
That's why I like it.
could be. Have you ever seen it? I don't remember what they're called, but it's like when you write it out and then if you tip it upside down, it says the same thing.
Yeah,
Have you seen those things?
yeah. That's and also that's what I think about. That shape of the yin yang.
Yeah.
My dad and I have the same shape of that
You do?
that yin yang.
That's funny.
And then we have we're both Francis, which just means free.
Yep.
Because my great grandfather from Ireland. And then the O'Brien just means exalted, which means sort of ostracized but placed away, sort of like a castle on a hill. It's got like a high authority on a hill.
I always thought of O'Brien, definitely separated, but I always thought of it more as treasure.
Should yeah, placed away, exalted.
Something sacred.
Yeah, exalted. And
Right.
Bree just means hill. Brian just means hill.
Yep.
So I went to West Virginia and a guy named Francis stole me. And then he exalted me. He took me far away from town, put me on a hill, and I met 2 families named Brian.
Yeah.
Brian Veramesa and another Brian and their families. And then Brian Veramesa, so you know what a West Virginian holler is?
Hmm.
So there's like the mountain here,
Right.
and then there's a whole small town. They live
Yeah.
on top of the hill right here in a nice big shack.
Yeah.
So Mesa is Italian for Green Mountain. So his name's
Yeah.
Brian Green Mountain. He's literally exalted
Hmm.
on the Green Mountain. And the town is called Mount Hope, which is really cool. I just don't know when it gets like that obvious. I don't know if it's real. I'm like, did I just create West Virginia? Because I stuck out in my simulation. A guy named Francis takes Casey Francis O'Brien to a guy named Brian. I'm looking for a place to plug in my phone. I only have one. The big power block doesn't work. It didn't charge at all.
The black one that you have?
Yeah, the big one. For some reason, it's not charging. One of the coils works, so it can charge 10%.
I'm gonna send that to Brenda.
I think I handled my. Do you think I presented myself well today?
I think you did fantastic today.
Okay. Do you have places like your laptop I could plug in on the side? I don't have a charging block. That one doesn't work. But I think you have.
There is a USB one right here.
Okay.
I just want to put this. Oh, fuck me.
I was just thinking about other people showing up.
It never fucking ends.
I was like, it's cool that I can hang out here. But then I was thinking about like the other people that you said to come back next week.
Can I help you?
Somebody's coming to work in an office.
Yeah.
One will be 3 and then June and the other will be 1. I guess 7 years apart. But yeah, I don't know who handled the 2 different. Yeah. My sister had the 2 different schools. That's normal twins. Yeah. So my sister had twins first and then she had babies 4 years later. So it's good age gap. But yeah.
Was it Monday that we heard from that lady Brenda?
That's okay. Because my 2-week, almost 3-year-old is so independent. So I'm like, hey,
Brenda Hall.
not like doing this. So. Yeah.
3:30. All right. What else do we need to tell her? Lord. What?
They spelled berries.
Oh, barriers.
And you put you instead of you.
Jesus Christ. Regarding housing and barriers. It's ridiculous. Berries. Obviously, I'm tired. That may exist. That obviously exists.
I just have enough for a coffee, but I saw you got one from McDonald's the other day. I figured.
It was hot chocolate, I think.
Okay.
I don't drink
You don't
coffee.
drink coffee.
No.
I get coffee with at Cumbies. It's free for an espresso shot.
Oh yeah.
Usually it's like another $1 at Dunkin'.
I don't buy coffee at Dunkin' Donuts usually. Well, my son does. He likes Dunkin' Donuts, but
This is where
he needs to work if he's going to do that.
Yeah, it's $5 for a large.
It's crazy.
This one was $1.40. He gives me a discount.
Oh really? Every once in a while, someone will give me a free one, which is really nice. You can include me emails that.
The one in White River by the McDonald's.
Yeah.
They give me free coffee.
Yeah.
They found a dirty condom at the bus station.
Nice.
They made them clean it up, and they were like, "Thank you." There would have been a kid there that would have seen that. So you worked at the motel all night?
Mm-hmm.
Has it gotten any better?
No.
Damn. Do you need me to come in as security?
No, it's fine.
They'll pay me. Are the owners Indian?
Mm-hmm.
They're Indian?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. That means it's probably the whole family that owns all these motels right now.
Ken and Peter aren't related.
You know Ken, though.
I know who he is, yeah.
You've heard about him.
I know Peter.
Ken and Keith at the Hilltop. And then I don't even know which one you're in.
Peter owns the Quality Inn
The Quality.
in Barrie and in Rutland. And then he also owns a Comfort Inn in Burlington and in Plattsburgh.
Okay, I stayed at the Comfort Inn in Plattsburgh, but I left very quickly.
And I have a friend, Lee, who owns a mainstay in Mountville, Pennsylvania, and he is purchasing that one. He's buying her hotel in Pennsylvania because she wants to retire.
There's one for sale in Shelburne. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's more. Have you been to it?
The hotels in Vermont are tanking.
The one by the gas station. Out here in the wild east. I think it's one of the best songs I've ever written.
What's that? Oh, the Wild Wild East.
Yeah. It's good. I've probably written 1,000 songs. I think I have 10 good ones.
How much stuff do you have in your email about court stuff?
I don't know. Not a lot.
Do you have case numbers?
What do you need them for?
I feel like we should know what they are so that when we're asked, we know what they talked about 2 case numbers.